there's one stock that has an unprecedented deal, and you've probably heard of this stock before. It's Intel. The deal you've heard of before too, if you've been paying attention the past month, the 10% stake that the government is taking in Intel. Seems like it's going to happen. It's a pretty hefty concession. I don't think everyone was excited that Howard Lutnick, the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, is striking deals like this, or at least facilitating them. But at the same time, for us, it might be time to buy some Intel because this company has been in the dumps and it finally looks like there's a catalyst that can make this move up. So let's take a look at the chart right here. You can see how coiled it's been, and just looking at it immediately, it looks like this is interesting. $25 is the level to buy it through, and we're pretty close right here. Today, Thursday, September 11th, 2025, we did have some moves up, moves down. We did have CPI, which didn't actually affect the broader market that much, even though there is some inflation increased as prices went up, but the market response was totally bullish. So Intel didn't follow it quite as closely. NVIDIA didn't follow either. So we don't have to worry too much about Intel's response being lackluster, given that semis as a whole, if we look at the semi ETF, didn't move much. Now, zooming out, this is why we're interested in Intel. Because this stock's been beaten down for a couple months. It's gone sideways. And if we look on a 5-year chart, it's been down for a while. Fortunately, it is in the semi group. And if we look at NVIDIA, which just had earnings recently, the response was muted, but it has come back up to that earnings level. And we just had Broadcom with this massive move. Broadcom also had some sort of unprecedented news as well. There's a lot of news that is kind of one of a kind in this presidency. Broadcom did have that $10 billion order for OpenAI. So that's the reason for this move. CRDO, though, also absolutely massive move upward. And that earnings reaction was huge, okay? So with all that backdrop, CRDO revenue was up almost 300% year over year, which is insane. Here we go. This is Intel, though. This is the one that hasn't gone yet, okay? Which is why we're talking about it. So if we look at the price levels, not just 25, which is right here, going back to February, March, and the past month, it's been coiled near that level. There is a lot of green sky up here, blue sky, green opportunity for your portfolio, okay? And that's this initial dump level back from July of last year that it can get towards. So that's the risk reward opportunity, okay? A lot of space, gap fill, and incredibly tightly coiled, meaning you can risk $1 or actually less than $1, just 25 cents or something, and be able to have a lot of upside. If you're more about fundamentals, why buy Intel? Well, I do think that the stake is the most important update right now. However, if we even just ask ChatGPT, why buy Intel right now? Give recent news and updates within the past 7 days. And the reason I'm saying the past 7 days is that the stake news has been in the news for weeks now. And Intel did move, actually. If you look, it did. After that muted earnings reaction, it bounced back. The reason it bounced back was the 10% Trump stake. Now, 10% sounds like a lot, but also keep in mind this is a stock that really hasn't been doing anything. So it's not like the 10% stake in NVIDIA, which is already a stock that's crushing it. It's a stock that's basically laggard. Okay. There have been some leadership changes, but they aren't altogether negative. Okay. So someone who's from ARM is Qualcomm. These are companies that are positives. They're better shape than Intel, almost certainly, which means that these leadership changes are actually not net negatives. And then they do have some product roadmap updates, which aren't concerning either. And of course, the big news is this 10% equity stake. $0.50. And that's important because, like I said, that $25 level is the stock breakout level. $20 is below that level. So that's good because we're getting in. The government's in the money, I suppose you could say. SoftBank did commit $2 billion, and they are also in the money as well. So if people are making money, these, I don't think this is that notable. And I don't know that the CFO comments are exactly what we want to be paying attention to. What we really need to be paying attention to is any changes with this 10% CHIPS Act deal. Okay. Right now it seems promising. Everything seems good. But yeah, we got to be careful, and we do have to take a look at the other semi names as well. But we did look at them earlier. I looked at the charts and they look good. If we look at TSM, it looks, I think it looks okay. But there's really no chart that looks better than this coiled flag on Intel. So I think we just have to be really optimistic about this, because whereas a lot of these semi stocks have already gone, TSM is looking a lot like AVGO and looking a lot like CRDO. Intel's the one that hasn't gone. So that's why we're looking at it with $25 again. I'm going to harp on that number. That is the level to take a look at. So with all that said, people are going to be paying attention to NVIDIA. People are going to be paying attention to AMD. But right now, there is no better stock in the market for a high reward, low risk, long buying opportunity than Intel. And if this stock crosses $25, you're going to want to do your own diligence, manage your own risk, but I think you want to buy it. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one.